Come on down to the kitchen, get yourself in the mood. 'Cause when Britt gets to cooking, you're in for some good food. Yeah! Hey Peaches! Welcome back to the kitchen. It's girls' night! Me and the girls are getting ready to just get together, have a nice chill evening, maybe some board games, maybe a movie night and some wine. But I need something sweet for girls' night, so I'm going to go ahead and prep some chocolate cupcakes. For your cupcakes, you're going to need 2/3 of a cup of melted coconut oil, 2 cups of sugar, 2 eggs, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder, because we're doing chocolate cupcakes, obvi, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of milk, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1 cup of hot water. To really wow the girls, I'm also going to top it with a homemade buttercream icing. You're going to need 2 sticks of butter. You gotta let these sit out and get to room temperature. You want them softened, not melted. 3 1/2 cup of confectioner sugar, and that's powdered sugar. 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. 3 tablespoons of heavy cream or milk. An 1/8 teaspoon of salt. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. It's gonna be a lot of work and the girls are coming over soon. Let's apron up and get started. Our first step we're going to do is, of course, preheating our oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I've already done that, so we're gonna get right to the mixing. The first thing I'm gonna do after preheating the oven is going to be to measure out my coconut oil. Now we want this to be 2/3 of a cup when it's melted. So I'm just gonna add this incrementally until it's to the 2/3 mark. And you can use a microwave if you have it. I actually don't have a microwave in this kitchen. It's already pretty melty. So this shouldn't take very long. I'm just gonna put it right in the oven. Or actually I can put it over over the burners to melt it down. This won't take time at all to melt down. And while you're melting your coconut oil, be sure to go ahead and prep your cupcake tins. I like these silicone liners because you can pop them right out and there's no waste. You can reuse them. I'm kind of obsessed with these. I'm going to go ahead and measure out my 2 cups of sugar because once that coconut oil is melted, we're going to be mixing it together in this here mixer with the sugar and both eggs. Now that that's nice and mixed up, we're going to add in our flour, our salt, and our cocoa powder. So with your flour, you're going to want to measure it precisely, which means you're going to level it off. If you have a leveler, great. Otherwise, a butter knife will do. You want to make sure that top is nice and flat. Getting a little less precise on the cocoa powder because they're chocolate cupcakes. This is the main event of ladies' night, the chocolate. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Let's mix her on up. If you're hearing your mixture make that noise, it means it's about time to mix it by hand. Now, if that is normal, it is going to be a little thick. But we're not quite done with the mixer yet. I'm just gonna take off the attachment temporarily and do a little mixing myself. Get all that powder off the sides here. Now we're mixing our liquids together. We're gonna be getting our milk, our apple cider vinegar, and our baking soda together. You wanna work quickly on this step because anyone who's been in the 2nd grade knows what happens when vinegar and baking soda mix. Now to help mitigate that, I'm going to go ahead and put in the milk first, then the baking soda, then the apple cider. It's 2 teaspoons of baking soda. We got 2 tablespoons of the apple cider vinegar. Now you will likely see it start to get foamy. As you mix it, yep, there it goes. As is the nature of the mixture. Then I'm going to go ahead and start adding this little by little to my mixture until there are no lumps. Before we give it one last stir, I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the sides just to make sure it all mixes together. This is going to be a more runny batter. We have one more liquid to add to this. Now to thin that batter out a little more and make sure everything's mixed super evenly, we're going to gradually add our cup of hot water. And of course, don't forget your 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I would never do that. Now that we've got that nice and mixed, we can start spooning it into our cupcake liners. You want them to be about 2/3 of the way full so that they'll poof up a bit. Oh, those are beautiful. I'm gonna pull these out and put them on a plate to cool. These do look perfect, though not, I guess they're cute, but they're not quite perfect yet. I'm gonna go chill these in the fridge until they're completely cooled so that I can frost them with my homemade buttercream icing. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and make that. By this point, our butter has had plenty of time to soften, so we're gonna go ahead and put that into our mixer and beat it for about 2 minutes until it's creamy. Next, we're going to add our 3.5 cups of confectioner's sugar. Be prepared for a mess. Be prepared for a mess if you are using one of these mixers, because this will poof up and you may need to add more to get the proper consistency. Or if you want to avoid that, you can always add it a little bit at a time. One-quarter cup of our cocoa powder, because this is going to be chocolate buttercream. 3 tablespoons of our heavy cream, and I did have this sitting out because you want it at room temperature. 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now we're gonna cover this all up and mix it on low. And probably don't have too much to clean up before the girls come over. That's some good buttercream. Once our cakes are nice and cooled, I'm gonna go ahead and get this loveliness into a piping bag, pick my pretty little tip, and we'll get to decorating once everything's cooled and ready to go. So these are nice and cooled down. Already got them out of their little casings, and it's time to decorate. I did not see what number tip I'm using, so I think it's either 22 or 32, and I'm just gonna put a generous coat of frosting on each one. Not doing anything super fancy, just doing a nice little swirl. Now this buttercream did turn out kind of rich, so I'm gonna be generous but not go overboard. And when you're piping, you wanna make sure you have a tight squeeze on the top here. Otherwise, all your buttercream's gonna get all over your hand, and we don't want that. We want it on the cupcake. Ta-da! They look beautiful. Now time to see if they taste beautiful. See how these turned out. Oh yeah. Now that is a rich buttercream. If you want to put in a little less butter, but if you like it rich, do it just like I did it. I actually really like that cupcake. It is nice and moist. It's pure chocolate without being overbearingly sweet. I gotta pat myself on the back again for this one. I think the girlies are gonna love these, and I can't wait to serve these at the girls' night. But let me know what you think of my cupcakes. Did you make them just like I did, or do you have a different recipe you like to use? Let me know on all my socials. That's at BrittRachelle.com or BrittRachelle.card.co. I've got Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. I'm everywhere, and I answer all my own messages. So let me know what you think. And if you're gonna serve this at your next girls' night, or heck, if you're gonna serve it to the boys, I don't know. Until next time, I'm Britt Rachelle, and I hope you stay peachy.